Ontario's long-term energy plan as the Minister of Energy and served as the Minister of Aboriginal Affairs from 2008 to 2010. Minister Duguid has been entrusted with a very large portfolio, and he is committed to our sector. He understands the tremendous economic potential of life sciences in Ontario, and I would ask you to welcome Ontario's first Minister of Economic Development and Innovation.
Well, thank you very, very much, Jason, for that introduction. And let me begin by saying this is a very formal occasion, and I'm wearing my sort of rumpled pink shirt today. It is Pink Shirt Day, and certainly was at Queen's Park. And pink shirts they've kind of gone out of vogue and out of style a bit. So I had to reach to the very back of my closet. So my apologies for being a little wrinkled and disheveled today. This is the best I could do. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I want to thank you for inviting me. I want to acknowledge some friends in the audience that are here with us today. I know Mayor McCallion's here somewhere, and where's Mayor? How are you? I know that my good friend John Wilkinson is here, former minister. John, it's great to see you, and you've left some very huge shoes to fill. I know that my PA, Donna Cansfield, has just come in as well with me. Donna is just being seated somewhere. Donna, thank you for being here with me. I think the Sandra Pupatello's here somewhere. And so where's Sandra? Usually you can hear Sandra if you can't see her. Where is she? No offense, Sandra. She's somewhere at any point back there. Great to have you here. And my very good friend, Councillor Michael Thompson, Chair of Economic Development, is here as well. Michael, I can't see you, but I know you're here in the room somewhere, and hopefully we'll get a chance to, there he is at the back there. And I know there's probably been introductions already, but these are all my good friends, and I'd like to make sure that I acknowledge each and every one of them. Many of you probably know Wendy Tilfer, our Deputy Minister, as well. Wendy's here with us. You notice though, after I talk about the politicians, and the former politicians are here, the only person that gets applause is the Deputy Minister. I don't know if that's telling of anything, but I want to begin by congratulating those being honored here tonight for their achievements. It is truly inspiring to be around such great individuals. They represent what I consider to be the best of Ontario and the best of what Ontario strives for. So I want to say to Joe Rothman, John Kelly, Peter Singer, and of course George Ross, and everyone at Arctic DX, Greg Hines and his team, thank you for your commitment to the life sciences and your commitment to building a better future for our great province. Many of you will know George Ross, and George is right down here in front of me, who was the Deputy Minister at the former Ministry of Research and Innovation. Frankly, George was instrumental in putting this province at the forefront of life sciences, research and innovation. George, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for everything you've done. George isn't expecting this. He's getting a bit of a kink in his neck trying to turn around now. I want to thank you for all the great work you've done. I want to acknowledge that. This is the first chance I've had to publicly acknowledge George's contribution. He's moved over to M&R now, and I know he's very busy over there. But I want to tell you, George, I'm not done with you yet. I'm going to be counting on your advice. I'm going to be counting on your wisdom. I'm going to be counting on your vision on matters related to innovation. So you give him a round of applause, too, because he's not a politician. He's a good person. And you know, as I look around the room, and it's a huge room here today, it's great to see so many people from every aspect of the life sciences here this evening. I think it's no secret that the challenges before us will demand that we all be at our best. We need everyone pulling in the same direction to keep Ontario on the top of our game. We're all aware of the challenges we face, challenges to compete, to attract jobs, and to be a top destination for investment. It's a fierce battle. I think we all know that. And we're going to have to do everything we possibly can to succeed. The path forward for Ontario will not be a straight path, and it's not going to be clear, and it's likely not going to be easy. The jurisdictions, though, that thrive in this new economy will will be those that can create their own opportunities. You know, last week during the debate in the Ontario Legislature, in fact, it was in the middle of a heated question period, Premier McGinty passed me a copy of a speech by George W. Buckley, the CEO of 3M, and he suggested that I read it. Now, when the Premier suggests, as the former ministers know, that you read it, it means you read it as quickly as humanly possible, which I did. By the end of that question period, I had a good part of it read. The speech was on the necessity of innovation in the New World economy. Now, first off, if there's anyone here in the room who thinks that the Premier's commitment to innovation has in any way waned since the day he launched Ontario's innovation agenda, think again. It should come as comfort to each and every one of you that the Premier, in the midst of fighting off the opposition in question period, still has his heart, his mind, and his passion focused on his priority, which is innovation. So I think that should come as good news to each and every one of you. Now that's good news to the research sciences sector and Ontario, even if the Premier's enthusiasm for innovation adds significantly to my already never-ending stack of reading material. So it may not be as good news to the Minister of Economic Development and Innovation. But I want to get back to George W. Buckley's speech. He used a quote by George Bernard Shaw, who said this: "The people who get on in this world are the people who go out and look for the circumstances they want. And if they can't find them, they create them." To me, that's what life sciences is all about. Taking the knowledge we have today, recognizing how much better we can make this world through research and innovation, and going out and creating new and innovative products and treatments that I believe are now at the threshold of turning life sciences and healthcare on its head. And I'm proud to say, as Minister of Economic Development and Innovation, but more so as a proud Ontarian, that we here in Ontario are right in the thick of it. Life sciences is a clear area of strength for Ontario. We're the third largest cluster in North America. When we talk about building that next generation economy, when we talk about building an Ontario that will compete and win in the post-global recession world, life sciences is clearly one of our key pillars. My early experience as minister in this area has so far taught me that we're doing pretty darn well when it comes to the research end. We're punching way above our weight there. I'm told by many of you, in fact many of you here in this room have shared this concern with me, that where we're challenged is on the commercialization, entrepreneurial side. So how do we create our own opportunities? Now, given our fiscal challenges and the fierce global competition that we face, I'd suggest that there's no longer any alternative but for us all to foster an unprecedented collaboration amongst businesses, academia, and government. And I think we're getting that. I think we're getting that done here in Ontario. I've been amazed at the remarkable collaborations that exist between our business community and our academic communities here in Ontario already. By working together and leveraging the strong networks we've built here in this province, scientists, investors, researchers, and businesses, they've all established what I would consider to be pretty formidable, I would consider to be almost unbeatable teams. I'm really getting a sense that it's coming together for our life sciences sector here in Ontario. You know, we often talk about the skills and qualities of our workforce as being our greatest competitive advantage, and I think that's quite true. But this is not the time for us to be sitting on our knees. In that same speech by George Buckley, he recalled the question he received when he first took over as CEO of a company called Brunswick. It was about the amount of money the company had invested in training. And the person who was asking him the question had this to say. He said, "George, what if we continue to pay for all this training and people leave the company and go somewhere else?" George answered it this way: "What if we don't and they stay?" It's pretty good comment. As a government, we emphasize investments in training and education for a reason. Because a skilled workforce helps us attract new investments and new opportunities. Now, I've had the opportunity, as many of you, to see that firsthand across this province, and On a recent visit to Waterloo's Comutech Investment Hub, where Google was setting up a new office and now in the midst of further expansion, I saw exactly what he was talking about, because what inspired Google to set up there was the skill, talent, and potential of so many young entrepreneurs. They simply recognized that they had to be close to this hub of young, creative, skilled people. In a discussion just last Friday, I had with Eli Lilly officials in Scarborough, which they're located, of course, out in the East End as well. They had a similar story about why they're one of the partners at Mars here in Toronto. With our skilled workforce and a thriving, growing innovation community, we're crafting the tools that we're going to need to compete. So how do we translate those tools into results? In the life sciences, the ability to test ideas to ensure that we can be turned into commercialized products is absolutely critical. I think many of you know this, but Mars Excite is one of those great examples of how we're doing this. By helping companies do pre-market testing of early-stage medical technologies in a clinical setting, we can ensure that these technologies can be adapted, refined, and adopted and lead to lower healthcare costs. And no one else in the world is doing this. Boy, I'd love to say that, and I know John got to say that a lot. Nobody else in the world is doing this, but we're doing it here in Ontario. I also recognize the need to, or we also recognize the need to streamline the clinical trials process, because that's really critical. That's why we moved ahead with creating Clinical Trials Ontario, to improve the process with clear, standardized procedures right across the board. By doing this, we're making Ontario more attractive for global mandates and the jobs that come with it. Now, these topics that I've spoken about, education, identifying opportunities, and testing them out, are only so good as our ability to turn these ideas into marketable products. It's about showing that we have the ability not only to dream up new ideas, but also the ability to make them happen. Now, standing before you tonight as an Ontarian, I can also say that I want those ideas to not only be formed here, but to be realized here. Just as every company worries about being outdone by newer, nimbler competition, so too must Ontario remain nimble and do everything we can to stay competitive if we're to succeed. Now, I can stand here tonight and go on and talk about our successes that we've had collectively in the life sciences sector. It's truly an impressive record. You know, when you think about the progress we've made in making Ontario a global hotbed for innovation, is truly something that deserves recognition. But those successes are merely a stepping stone to future opportunities. Recognizing our achievements is important, but let us not pause too long to bask in our past and present success, because the innovation competition pauses for no one. Success and innovation goes to those hungriest to compete and to succeed. As I have this privilege of touring the province and meeting with those leading our innovation agenda throughout Ontario, I can tell you just by looking them in the eye that we're hungry for success, and we will relentlessly do what needs to be done to be a global innovation leader. All that being said, let us take a few hours out of our lives tonight to celebrate and recognize those whose efforts, and in some cases life's work, has taken us to this exciting place in our history. So tonight, I say thank you. Thank you to those who have dedicated their lives to research and development in the life sciences, to finding that next great discovery to make our lives better and healthier. Thank you to those who have taken risks and made investments in this sector for the jobs you're creating and the next generation economy that you're building. Thank you to those corporations, many of whom are here tonight, who are stepping up with investments in research, world-class equipment, and training, as well as those who are stepping into to fill that venture capital challenge by supporting startups. Together, let us build on the strong life sciences sector. Let us build that better, healthier, and more prosperous future for our kids, for your kids, and for mine. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
me very much. I think you will all agree he is a quick study, and he knows all of the opportunities in our sector. We are going to endeavor as an industry organization to give you lots of examples to talk about as you tour the province of innovation that's turned into commercialized products and jobs. That's what we're going to do. And the other thing that we're going to help you with is policy input from our organization to help make sure we have the right ingredients in Ontario. So we look forward to working directly with you. Congratulations on the new role. It is now my duty to let you know that the silent auction will be open during dinner. So that is a support of Biosciences Education Canada. That's the group that runs the Sanofi Biotalent Challenge and a number of other important science engagement programs for youth. They are in the back there, so you just go and put your name down on one of those bid sheets. And I think it closes at about 8:45. 9?
5 after when we finish.
5 after it closes, so we'll be reminding you through the night. It's now time for dinner. Thanks very much.